Thank you to SHERIMEDIA and Grindstone for the game key. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to play some Preserve. The game goes for $12.49. It was released August 8th into Steam Early Access. For more info, check the video description below. So how I describe this game, it's like a hexagonal card battler, basically heavy on the math, and I'll show you why. There's two modes, essentially, that we can play currently in Steam Early Access. Technically, it's probably three, because it looks like there's creative mode. So what you start with is the continental biome. But the two modes that I've been playing, puzzle mode and classic mode. I'm just going to jump into puzzle mode right now, just to kind of show you the premise of what the puzzle mode is, and then we'll do classic mode. Alright guys, so this is basically your first puzzle that you get. I'm not sure if they change. I just pretty much just move on to the next one. So I don't recall if it's the same one or if it's kind of procedurally generated or random, as everybody would have said 15 years ago. So yeah, we're using gamepad. You can use this keyboard mouse. It works perfectly on both. I played this on Steam Deck. It's fantastic. But for control wise on the gamepad, holding left trigger, you then adjust everything with your right analog stick. So up and down is your tilt, left to right just basically moves left to right. And then basically with the right trigger, the only thing that I really do is zoom in and out with the right analog stick. And if you press B after you have an active tile, it will remove it. Press select, it gives you the options of what you want to do. So like if we achieve 117, it's going to give you the option to basically go to the next thing or go to the main menu. But because we haven't done anything, it's going to give you a restart option. And this is your score sheet. So this is where the math comes in. So if you want to be analytical and kind of figure things out beforehand, you can kind of justify a lot of stuff. So how this game works is there's biomes. They might word them differently. I don't remember exactly the terminologies they use. This will probably tell you. Improvements and then habitats. So if you have like a heavier rain, this is a single rain tile down here. I'm using the bumpers, rotates through these. So this is a single tile. So it's only going to water one single tile that hasn't already been green, because it's going to change into green. So if you had a heavy rain basically covers this whole hexagonal tile, which I think is 7 tiles. It will, like if we had a heavy rain, I think as they're referred to, it would only highlight these 3. And these 3 would change to green grass. Because there's 4 other tiles that are missing here in this early puzzle. But if you had them all, like it would fill them all green. Now here, because there's no tile, it can't do this one. It won't do these. It has to have an actual tile. Now, say if we did this, like say if there was like a rock tile or something, it won't put grass, I don't think, on the rock tile, because those are high elevation. It could. I just don't remember. I played this game a lot and in a lot of different biomes and whatnot, so like I can't remember everything. But there's some aspects that if you put it over one tile, it might not change that tile, but if all the surrounding tiles, like again, like a heavy rain tile or a pond tile, it will basically change all of them that it's actually able to. But essentially what you're trying to do is you go 3, 6, and 12 in terms of how many animals you get per little habitat, as they refer to. So if we start placing trees down here, that creates the habitat for this area, and you're going to be able to put all 3. The downside is we're going to have to connect these to connect over here to then utilize all 12, because as we show you, it will progress, and if we don't put these tiles here, it will break. Not break the game, but it will break the logic, because we'll actually bring up the UI. So now you can kind of see what's going on here. We have 3, so now we can actually put 1 animal. And we put 3 more, it's going to enable 2. Now, for the third and complete habitat, it's going to need 12. It's not going to be 9. The first 2 were kind of low. The last one, you're going to have to work for. So here, now we have that. And you do have your recycle or your remove or undo kind of thing. You can also manually undo. I don't know why I'm pointing the screen. But if you press B, it will undo the last one. It's only going to do that. But you can always replace it. That's just pretty much like I say, you've done something incorrect and you want to do it. The game is not going to punish you for it. As you can see, it took away points, but then it easily put it back. You're not going to be punished for it. You just can't go more than one back. But that's where your recycle card comes in, where you can just place these and you can remove anything you've accidentally placed down, up to 5 of them, as you can see by the bottom left number. So here now we're going to start placing our animals. Doesn't really matter their arrangement. We're going to get, I think it's not going to be 3 of a kind. It's going to be 3 different. I'm not sure if it gives you like acknowledgement of it. Now we select the wolf. And that's 117. 3 unique is what they call it. And as you can see, you get 60 points for that. But if you look at the score sheet, 3 different animals and 1 habitat, plus 60. So that's pretty much how to play the puzzle mode. You can be very nerdy. You could do the math prior. Or you can just start placing tiles based off the score sheet and just kind of wing things as you go. And eventually your brain is going to start kind of registering a lot of things, because this will get a little more convoluted later on. Hope that makes sense. But you could go to the next one and we'll just show you what the next one looks like. We're not going to play it so much. So see, as the world kind of changes, so does the hexagon tiles. And you can already see that now you have a heavy rain tile. So we can show you what that looks like. You see, you place it here. It's not going to actually count the middle one. It's going to give you 6 points for the surrounding ones, because the middle one is already green. I mean, you can see what the effect it's going to do. It's going to do a hexagonal 7 tiles. Now it's going to be able to still register on the stone ones, because those are the high elevation. Those are for like rocks and whatnot. But it's not going to put grass on them. It's only going to do middle and lowland. I think those were the rules based off of the green grass. So, but it will, as you can see, it'll do all the surrounding ones. This one wasn't green, it would be kind of faded green to show you as an indicator. Same like if you look at the 2 brown ones above, so you can kind of see what it's doing. And like right here, you should get only 6 points for this. So see, now the bottom left corner give you 6 points. The middle one, the middle tile was already green, so you're not going to get a whole full 7. That also comes into play when you're doing factoring your score sheet. Now you have to factor in that you've gotten 6 in that area, as opposed if you maybe would have put it like here, you would have gotten a full 7. So if you want to maximize your output, you can put it there, because you don't get that extra point back. It just doesn't get applied. So as you can tell by the whole heavy rain is now gone. So I mean, that's how you play the puzzle mode. Alright, so this is your classic mode for the continental one. So you start small, and eventually it's going to expand. We're going to show you what the difference between puzzle mode and classic mode. I want to say I think it's procedurally generated or random, as most people would probably said 15, 20 years ago. But this is essentially, basically it's going to expand and you have to like achieve that point total. I don't remember what this first one is. I think it's like 450 to 900 and like 1100. Here's your heavy rain. Your heavy rain is going to be seven tiles in total. Now, if you do something like over here, as you can see, the 2 rock tiles are occupying. You can't place grass on rock, obviously. So it's not going to count those. You're only going to get 5 tiles on this one. If you select these, it's not going to do. It's not going to do the top ones because, again, the rock and there's nothing here. But it will highlight the ones surrounding them. So hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to do this one here. And we're going to put some grass tiles around here as well. And dress things up a little bit. And as you can see now, everything's kind of expanded. Now we have lowlands and highlands kind of bouncing back and forth. We expand things. So the rock ones are only going to be able to apply on these high ones. So you could also do the highlands as well. But I mean, honestly, these are probably the ones that you should adhere to your rocks first, because those are really the only things that can ever go there. I would always just put your rocks on the actual rock or stone, as they probably call them, and then see what you got left over before you start placing them on like your highlands. Because your highlands, you can do a bunch of other stuff too. And this is your lowlands and your highlands as well. And this is lowlands, highlands. So what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna do this in lowlands. So let's expand a little bit over here. We're gonna do some more lowlands. And we'll actually connect to get more tiles on the back end. So we could kind of expand the whole rocks thing and kind of maybe do like a rock wall or something. So this whole area we're gonna do. And we only got 3, so you're gonna want to connect them, because again, just like the puzzle mode, you could do 3. You're gonna be able to see that you're gonna be able to put 1 animal down. So again, hopefully that makes sense. Bare minimum what you kind of want to achieve in a lot of these places. See, we're only gonna get 6 tiles for this one, so we're at 32. So it should be 38 if my math is right. 38, yeah, because this tile is already occupied. And I should say it's already green, so it's not going to green it twice. And it's not going to undo it either. So now we've kind of maximized those to the extent that we're able to. Now, we have 2 of these, so that's going to be kind of a tough situation with that. We won't be able to place anything yet. And then we only got 1 tree, which is very stingy as well. So I'm kind of happy that we actually use those already. Those are really the only 2 animals that we're able to do, is the bee and the goat. And these 2. As you can see, their little pictures building out. And now we're getting more cards to place down. Over here, let's actually expand this. And you kind of want to give yourself enough room to place 12 tiles down. Because as you could tell, the game's going to expand in classic mode, and you're going to be able to kind of like place different types of tiles. Do this one. So you almost kind of want to do this one in the stone because it has a lot of highlands, but like this is kind of like the logic that you're kind of wanting to achieve in this. Well, there's 6 tiles there. We're just gonna place something down here. Not gonna think too hard about it. We will place this there. Place a tile here. We might use these rocks, so we're not gonna place anything in those spots. And again, you're just gonna get more stuff later on, so not that big of a deal. And we can't do that because it's low-lying. We can also expand over here as well, but we're gonna start placing some more happy trees. Now we're at 4. So we should be able to get 6 out of this. We might leave these vacant for the rocks. Again, we could always just add another little section over here as well, so you're not always kind of pigeonholed into one direction. I do like that we're able to free flow. Move things around how we see fit. See, these we can't place, so like I should probably put trees there because rocks are not going to be able to go. And rocks aren't going to be able to there, so if we want to expand the rocks, we're going to have to put something here that's going to be able to connect, or over here, where we can then connect it that way. So we might actually do that now. As you can see, they've already kind of fitted the rocks for us. So if we want to connect it this way, we can. Or we connect it over here. We can rotate it. And boom, now we can apply more rocks. And again, you kind of always want to reach 12 because that maximizes your output. So here, because we're only at 8, we're able to put 2 goats. So we'll put one down here. That's our second goat. We could put down another bee in this habitat. And once we expand the rocks, you're going to see that we're going to get 3 of a kind. Where before we got the 3 unique. And as you can see now, we've achieved 12. You can go higher, you're just not going to get more tiles. Now we got 3 of a kind, plus 30 for that. And you're already getting, I think, 10 per animal. Yeah, every placed animal. So you're getting 60 for applying those. 3 different animals in one habitat, you're going to get 60. But yeah, if you do 12 here, and then you see that you have these 5 vacant ones that you could do something with. Not to your benefit, because you can put 5 more here, and you can get, what's that, 17? You're not going to unlock anything, you're just putting more tiles together. So it's kind of like useless space. So let's start expanding this out, and because these are low-lying, we're gonna have to occupy with some happy trees, as Bob Ross would call them. And that's all the trees for that, so let's expand this out a little bit. Let's actually cut this off, because since we can't do anything in there, unfortunately the rocks are, it is what it is. Like, I don't think we could place anything else on the rocks other than actual rocks. Here, we can put a divider, so we can't continue the rocks, kind of mental indicator of like we're splitting it with a different biome or habitat as the game refers them to. We're going to start placing these over here. And because they need water, we're going to have to place a water tile. Placing these down. I'm not able to utilize those because the rocks. Because the rock said. I got those placed down. Again, we could continue. See, we've already kind of cut it off here, so now we can't continue the rocks this way. Again, unfortunately, we have these up here, so we're not going to be able to expand that. Now at least we could put something in this area. Now it looks like the only thing we can't put are those darn bees again. And we have 13 tiles, so we did an oopsie. Put an extra. We are, as they say, extra. So we got 3 of a kind, despite we have 13. We should have stopped at 12. Weren't paying attention. And here we are at 9, 10, 11. Sure. Now we could do... Well, we put the bee over here just to kind of be different, but technically we could have probably put 3 of a kind with a bee. So we can actually undo that, and we'll show you how to do it. Do the undo card, and now you get the option of... Because we got... Well, technically we have 3 bees there, so... I don't know if we want to do that. We might not actually do that. But basically what you do is you apply it here, and you can say, okay, you want to remove that tile that you selected, or do you want to remove an animal? Let's say if I wanted to have 3 bees here instead of 3 bees over here, that's how you can remove the bee here. It removes that recycle card, so now you go down to 6, and then you're able to reapply the bee elsewhere. And these guys, we are at 8. Let's expand him a little bit. And what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to start flip-flopping things around. So we got 12 here. Let's put some hogs down. And we got that. So now we're at 349. What we're trying to achieve is at 440. Now let's do a water. Let's do a water tile. And see the water tiles, we're gonna do hexagonal 7 tiles. And it's the center tile is actually gonna be the water. So while you can do water up here, it'll just kind of do like a pond up top. And you kind of can do it up here as well. So if you wanted that separation, if you wanted to somehow utilize these things, you can actually put like a river up here and then have it maybe drop off to kind of separate the rocks. So we'll actually see if we can do that. So now we've actually separated the rocks. Now we've made this more usable. And then over here, as we add another little thing, we could just make sure that we don't put rocks here. So then we can close this off and use that 12. But yeah, this is pretty much it. It's a very chill game. We're 100% using controller on Steam, and you can use this on Steam Deck, and it works perfectly. I lowered my battery usage to what, like maybe six or 7. So I'm yielding a lot more time out of just playing this game. It's a fun game. It's super functional with keyboard and mouse as well as gamepad. Gamepad gets a little used to because I think the controls are inverted a little bit. Like I'm pulling right analog stick and it's going counterclockwise. And then you go left and going clockwise. It just really, you just have to get used to it. Once you get used to it, it's not that difficult. Keyboard and mouse is 100% serviceable as well. Anyways, this was The Preserve. Game goes for $12.49. It was released August 8th into Steam Early Access. So hopefully this game evolves in time before it reaches 1.0. Thank you to SHERIMEDIA and Grindstone for the game key. For more info, check the video description below. We'll catch you in the next one. Alright guys, later.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.